Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining in this very interesting scenarios unfolding right now here in price action of Bitcoin. As we can see guys, our fear is turning into a reality. I mean, on the 1st of November, I showed you with the help of this leading indicator for the month of November, we have an outside value CPR. Outside value CPR, just like I shown here in an example, gets formed when the price is in a downtrend. I even showed you with this example. Outside value CPR suggests the price is trending in a downtrend and may find resistance at the CPR levels. Exactly as mentioned here, you can see we came around the CPR level, which acted as resistance, and price of Bitcoin after that started with a downtrend. So you can see resistance at the CPR level, which it did, making it a potential signal for short position or to exit long positions. And now, according to this leading indicator, where could the price of Bitcoin be heading? Guys, Bitcoin losing the support or failing to close above this trend line means we have to focus on the price target, which is this S1 line. Yes, this S1 line for the month of November will be looked as our first target where we could be getting attracted before choosing a direction. And this S1 line sits around $99,000. So that's why $99,000 to $100,000 will be looked as our upcoming target as long as we remain below this November CPR. And we knew this wasn't the only resistance which we had around this price range. Price parallelly was also facing resistance from this Williams alligator indicator, and I showed you guys that this is a bearish cross. Blue line appearing at the top, green line at the bottom only happens during downtrend. I even showed you with this example here. Any sort of a rally, as long as the price remain inside this Williams alligator indicator, these trend lines will be acting as resistance, and a relief rally will be turning into a fake out, and price after that will follow the original direction. And in our case, just like what I showed you, you can see Bitcoin had a relief rally, but this relief rally ended exactly after testing the resistance from this Williams alligator indicator as well, because we knew to the downside RSI was below 50, MACD was forming a bearish cross, and now if you look at these indicators, things are slowly turning bearish. So please guys, please be aware, do not overlap with yourself, because price, unless it breaks resistance, any sort of a rally will be looked as a temporary rally, and price of Bitcoin after that is expected to head lower because beside the resistance from this Williams alligator indicator, beside the resistance from this CPI indicator, I even showed you guys that this is another resistance which we have from this Bollinger Band, the central line or the basis line, which acted as resistance for Bitcoin, and now we are clearly in a downtrend. So what does this mean? If Bitcoin shows another relief rally after testing the lower band, we know lower band usually gets broken during downtrend. So any sort of a rally, again, this central line, this Williams alligator indicator here, along with the CPI indicator, will be acting as a resistance. So relief rally will be looked as a temporary relief rally as long as we remain below these key trend lines, because in a bigger picture, if we look at it using this rising wedge, this is in a weekly time frame, we can see we have officially broken out of this lower trend line, which was considered as one of the most important support in the past price action. Each and every relief rally after testing around this lower trend line from this rising wedge, despite being a bearish continuation pattern, has failed, because if you look at this weekly candle, it is clearly below it. So what does this mean? What I just showed you with this leading indicator, if Bitcoin fails to come across this November CPR trend lines, then even in a bigger picture, we must prepare ourselves for a continuation, which might look somehow like this: price heading to a certain key line, and only after that to choose a direction, because we know beside this rising wedge, price is also following this 2B sell pattern. And you know, I have been talking about this 2B sell pattern since a couple of weeks. I showed you guys this exact scenario played out in the past price action. Now we could be repeating this exact move. And in the past price action, Bitcoin, before starting with the new impulsive move, what happened here? I mean, Bitcoin, before starting with the new impulsive move, first it got attracted on this 1.618 Fibonacci extension line, found support, and only after that a relief rally. Same thing could be unfolding here as well. We form this 2B sell pattern. Now if this exact scenario repeats, then just like from this past price action, we could be getting attracted on this 1.618 Fibonacci extension line, right? And only after that, we could expect another bullish continuation. But until then, I want you guys to be aware. Bitcoin has a very, very high probability of testing around this key trend line, which is going to be around 100,000 and even lower before continuing with this uptrend, because beside this rising wedge, beside this 2B sell pattern, even this 50 exponential moving average looks like attracting us. And what does this mean? 50 exponential moving average in history has been looked as a very, very important trend lines, because this trend line always attracted us before we started with the new bullish continuation. And even if this weekly scenario plays out, price getting attracted on 50 exponential moving average, even in that case, you can see it is around 100,000. So that's why, guys, that's why there is a very, very high probability of price getting attracted on this 100,000 before continuing with this uptrend. So if you ask me again, Anup, do you think the bull market is over? Guys, I personally think we are still in a bull market. Even here, you can see, even here, when the price of Bitcoin from the top till the bottom dropped almost 32%. Here, when the price of Bitcoin from the top dropped almost 31%. You can see each and every 31% move doesn't mean we were in a bear market. Bitcoin at the end still formed a new high. And if you look at this entire move, it was looked as higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern. So bull market, in my opinion, is still intact. If this pullback happens, then if you zoom out, you can see it could still be looked as a great buying opportunity. Yes, guys, for the long run, a pullback like this could be a great buying opportunity, because price of Bitcoin after that, in my opinion, could be slowly starting with another bullish continuation, because in my opinion, we still have a blow off top type of movement left, and only after that a reversal. But for the medium short term, yes, we need to be careful, because even in a 4-hour time frame, not just in the hourly time frame, not just only in a week time frame, even in a 4-hour time frame, Bitcoin lost the support from this symmetrical triangle, the lower trend line. And in the past price action, this lower trend line always resulted in a relief rally, but this time it has failed. So what does this mean? If you look at this move here using the Fibonacci line, you can see it played out as a dead cat bounce pattern. A dead cat bounce means a relief rally around this 50 exponential moving average and then following the original direction. So in our case, this exact move is playing out at the moment. So what I'm trying to pinpoint is that yes, in the medium short term, after this kind of drop, there could be another relief rally, Bitcoin again re-entering inside the symmetrical triangle. But please be careful, guys. As long as we remain below the CPI trend lines for the month of November in between 111,000 to 114,000 range, any sort of a rally will be looked as a temporary rally, and price of Bitcoin after that is expected to continue lower. So please be careful. Do not overlap with yourself and use proper risk management strategies. So guys, these were some of the quick updates that I wanted to share with you in this video. If you enjoyed my work, then please do not hesitate to destroy that like button. And to those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. And also a quick reminder, if you haven't claimed this $30,050 in welcome rewards from Bybit, then definitely check the video description. And by saying this, I'm signing out until next time. Bye-bye.